smoother on the purple. If we spin the statue around on the side of the roof, you'll see this hole. Now this next piece, that's where the steel rod on here is going to key into for that. Now these pieces look cool and they just look like extra effects that were added onto the statue, but they're actually going to be representing some blood demon art abilities of one of the characters. One of my favorite parts about Magic Cube Studios statues is the fact that they're so balanced. So you have a decent amount of diorama going on, some effect pieces, and obviously the characters always take front and center. Our first character for the statue is going to be one of the Upper Moon 6 Gyutaro. On his foot is a large notch and the steel rod. That's the only point of contact to the bottom of the base, so it does have to be extremely sturdy. Now, he has some weight to him overall. Now, that's really important because he's supporting another character on his shoulders, and his outfit is very interesting, right? It's a bunch of wrappings, almost makes it look like he's a mummy on the bottom half. In the series, he's always had a very interesting body type with that skinny waist, and his upper part is much more muscular and built. He has those black spots all throughout his body. Now we'll see here his arms are sculpted separately for good reason, because they are going to be holding some weapons. And on his shoulder is that large notch that will be supporting another character in the future. Crazy fact, I do believe he has slaughtered over 15 Hashira in his lifetime. I can't imagine saying about 15 amazing characters like that, but this is the last piece of the blood demon art ability that keys into the front of his kneecap. In both of his hands, he will be wielding these sickle-like weapons, and I do believe they're actually made of flesh. That is right, pretty disgusting, but I love the paint job that they did for this. We can see how the bottom is more refined, while the actual top portion looks like flesh is surrounding and creating it. Once we join together the arm with the main body, this wrapping does help hide that seam line, and it also does tie into some of the character's abilities. You'll also see a small notch up top. That is what keys into the top portion of the arm, so you do know you have it in the correct position. For this one, the wrapping does go on first, and you can just easily slide the arm into place. Now, a face that literally a mother could only love. Look at that mug. The hairline that goes around the whole head is really impressive. It's really clean, no paint leaks anywhere. And when we get to the actual face, it does capture his sadistic character and the nature of who he is. He also has that grin going for obviously being in the middle of a battle. With that installed, we'll go to the back side of the statue, install the other arm into place. First, we have the wrapping and a little bit different of a formation. And this one is a lot trickier to install compared to the first. One thing to note for this arm is you can get some paint rub over here when you install this ribbon. Now, what happens is you have to have it at a certain angle and a little bit of tension. You have to bend the wrapping, and if you bend it too much, that is right. Unfortunately, we did have a break. This is not common for statues that I showcase. I did fix it. I glued it all together, added a little bit of black paint to hide that. And I also did inform the owner of this statue, which I forgot to mention before. Thank you so much to Akshay, who allowed me to showcase the statue to everyone around the world. He's one of our Kage tier members on the channel, and I really appreciate it. Sorry about this, that it did occur. Unfortunately, it's extremely tricky to get this in. I wish they would have engineered this a little bit better. A fun fact about this statue as well, I heard that this is a Christmas present from his girlfriend to him. Like, how lucky are you to have a girlfriend that buys you this kind of Christmas present? I don't know girlfriends I had was doing something like this. That sounds like a keeper if I've ever heard one. So now we have the second character on the statue, which is Daki. She has got some extremely high heels going on, and she is the second of the Upper Moon 6. I don't believe this is spoilerish, but I do recall that her clothes are actually not even actually clothes, and she somehow transforms her skin to look like she's wearing certain clothes. All throughout her body, she does have a bunch of holes in here because a lot of pieces and effects were sculpted separately for this one. And yes, to get the elephant out of the room, there is a little bit of fan service going on for not only her character, but this statue. Really cool engineering going on here, how she just fits right into his shoulder. We have these ribbons, are the first of a few pieces sculpted separately. They go on both the right and left sides of her outfit. And then for her arms, they were done differently. Like you don't normally see, they have the shoulder sculpted into it like this. Now, it makes sense with the outfit, the way that it kind of keys into place. It actually looks like it wasn't sculpted separately because there's no seam lines showing at all. The other arm is in a more odd contorted pose with her wrists obviously being faced inward like that. There's also some magnets on the inside of these that help them to attach very easily. These two pieces of ribbons do go on the front of her outfit, kind of help complete and finalize everything that's going on. Now to go to all the notches on the back, these are large ribbon looking pieces. They're actually extremely sharp and an extension of her skin again. They also have some more details that go into the effects of them, but I won't go into that with this statue review. Again, don't want to spoil too much going on. They all have these notches and steel rods that help it go into the back, of course, to stay secure because we don't want them to bend or warp over time. I'm curious, how many of you actually play the Demon Slayer fighting game that did come out? And also, who is your main character that you use most if you do? Extremely cool looking once you get everything installed, and I love how artistic and nice they look. If you didn't know or understand how deadly they were in the show, you'd probably appreciate them a little bit more. Just like the first head sculpt, Magic Cube does an amazing job. We have that notch on the bottom of the neck. Also, she has tons of pieces in her hair, little clips to hold things into place. And then also this large notch up top will hold some more hair that they did sculpt separately. And then getting to her face, here's a similar sadistic and evil look to her face. These two are no joke at all. It always amazes me how they make these statues look like they jumped right out of the anime. Here's that large piece that they sculpted separately. It amazes me how you can actually create something like this, package and ship it, and it doesn't break, right? A ton of fragile strands just flowing everywhere. But the way that Magic Cube does pack their statues, it's always impressive how it does come. Here's both of those pieces put together, and definitely one of the last pieces that you want to install on the statue. Speaking of which, I know my videos may be a little deceiving in how easy it is to put together statues, but this thing took me like 45 to 60 minutes to comfortably put everything together. To showcase the edition size, we have this metal plaque with a silhouette of Daki on the front. Also on the back is Magic Cube's studio's name and the actual edition size etched on the bottom. And it comes with this cool little acrylic stand where you can sit it on and off to the side. We also have the AC adapter plug here. It's a USB on one side and then the AC adapter on the other. But let's get this thing plugged in and take a look at the LEDs with the lights off. Extremely bright. I couldn't believe when I actually turned those on how blinding they were. For 3 little LEDs, an impressive job at adding a whole nother life and effect to the piece. Magic Cube never fails to bring it in quality, design, artistry, the way that everything comes to life, again, like it just leaps and jumps out of the anime or manga. At this time, if you haven't already, please be sure to leave a like on the video and also comment for that giveaway and let me know what statue or character you'd love to see represented on this channel in the future. Thanks again, Akshay, for lending me this statue to share with everybody. As always, I will see you in the next video, everyone. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.
Yabai. 頑張れ。人は心が原動力だから。
Hey everybody, Bam Collectibles here, back for a statue unboxing review for you. Some more Demon Slayer on the channel. As you can see from the box art, it is the quiet, cute, and deadly Kanao. This statue is made by the lovely Magic Cube and it's done in a 1/6 scale. We can see her name on the bottom of the base as well as that black and white art of her. Now, the statue itself does have a lot of spoilers potentially baked into it that I will not go into. I will not put into details because it's a manga only and it hasn't happened in the anime at all. For those that have read the manga and you know exactly what demon she is facing off against and the abilities that are showcased on the bottom, I hope you can appreciate it. For those that don't, it's amazing looking kind of an icy resin that they have that's sculpted all throughout the bottom of the base there. We can see this is the back of the body section. There are some notches and grooves all throughout the back with some magnets impacted for some other effects that are going to be added on a little bit later. If we spin this a little more, you'll get to see the magnet that's impacted inside the notch. That's what those are. And then we have the snowy type of texturing. It almost feels like sandpaper on the arm, but it's really nice. You know, the ice is smooth and the snow is a little bit of a rougher texture on there. And then on top of the icy hand, we can see some notches that were baked in because there's going to be some crazy effects installed onto this statue. Now, on the bottom of the base, there were multiple different small things sculpted separately. We can see here one of the lily pads. So it looks perfect. A nice little green shading that goes from dark to lighter. And then here is a little petal that's going to be on the side, a little magnet on the bottom to help it attach to the bottom of the base. Up next is one of the coolest little parts they sculpted onto the statue. It is more of an icy frozen over flower petal here. So we can see a lot of paint detail went into this between the bud of the flower and the petals that are on the side. And then we do have some rocks that were sculpted separately. We can see on the bottom, there's a notch that allows it to attach to the rest of the base. And the way that they did paint the rock, it looks exactly like a real life rock, right? So we have tons of different splattered texturing going on there. And then we have another one that's a lot larger there. We'll kind of zoom in a little bit closer so you can take a look at that paint application. The notch on that one looks really weird the way that it is, but it fits right into the side. And lastly, right over here, we have this tiny, cute little frozen over flower. And to go along with this statue, there's also going to be some wood fragments, tons of different pieces of wood and board being flung everywhere. That's the notch where it attaches to on there. You can see how it looks almost a little wet. They added kind of a glossy layer onto the top there, but tons of different boards that have been just completely shattered and obliterated. There's another larger one that's going to be on the side over here that's going to be used to support things. So it's a little bit more flat on the side. We can get some of that snowy texture on there as well. Again, it feels a little sandy. It also has a little bit of glitter into it as well. The only reason I found out is because I went upstairs and my wife was asking me like, what the heck is that glitter on your hand? Where the heck you get that from? I'm like, oh crap, must have got it from touching the statue. Real quick, I want to say a special thanks to Akshay who had this statue sent over to me so I can share it with everyone on the channel. I appreciate it so much and I love being able to share more Demon Slayer content with everyone. I do have some of my own personal Demon Slayer statues that'll be coming in the next few months, but for now, I'm so thankful for friends who can allow me to showcase these on the channel in the time being. All right, so in the background, we have some different effect pieces that were sculpted onto the statue. They're going to be showcasing her flower breathing techniques. Now, I'm not sure exactly which one this is showcasing. Maybe it's not a specific one, but just the general flower breathing techniques that she uses. We'll see all these different notches. These two specifically are going to be used to initially install themselves onto those two notches that we see on the icy hand. In total, there's going to be 3 different particles, and then we're going to have on here that piece of wood. Over on this side, we'll see the notch with the metal steel rod that's going to be coming out. That's the main point that attaches to the other piece, and then we have a little tiny steel rod that's poking out here. That's going to be used to balance against something. Again, there's that wood, but a nice little blending from the pinks over to the whites, a little bit of light blue for shading. And if we flip this around to the other side of the wood piece, that's actually going to be housing another particle. We can see the slot that they have that's kind of carved out there, and there's a little bit of a magnet inside there. Unfortunately, I do have to take this piece off in order to connect the other one off camera. So there's how that one does attach to it. And I did want to showcase and focus on that little tiny steel rod that we talked about earlier. It's going to be on this right side over here. So it kind of rests up against this wooden particle there. It allows it to not have all the weight just leaning down on that one piece. So it leans a little bit on the wood there. So that's the purpose. Doesn't key into anything, just sits and rests there. And here is a frozen over lily pad. So this is going to go along with the demon's ability that she's fighting at this time, so that's why it is a little bit more frozen, while the one on the bottom was not. And here is another really cool piece. So this is a completely iced and frozen over flower, similar to like the ones we saw earlier, just not painted. And so we have that magnet and notch on the bottom there, but that actually attaches itself on to the piece of wood that we saw earlier on the effect piece that's in the background right there. So we'll go ahead and get the lily pad on there first, and there is the ice flower. Just like Magic Cube has been doing, this is the edition size, or the C of A that they use. So it's just a little metal plaque here that we can see how many were made. And this is the worldwide edition. That's why it says world. So the international versions that were shipped outside of China. And then again, we have her on the front looking all cute. Also comes with this nifty acrylic stand, so you could rest it onto there and sit it next to your statue. And now it's time to jump into Kanal's body. We can see we have her standard outfit going on here. And so the way that this does key onto the statue is we have a notch with this steel rod. That's going to be the single point of contact in which she does. There's another point that's a little bit higher up that she will be attaching itself to the statue for balancing purposes. But really, attention to detail we have going on the boots there. As for the outfit, just like in the show, she has that standard Demon Slayer uniform going on. It has a little bit of a purple tint to it. I believe that's how it was in the show that kind of, made her stand out just a little bit there. We can see also the cape or cloak itself is flowing in there. Now there's the belt or notch that's going to be housing her sword on the side. If you look really close inside of the arm there, you'll see that small round magnet. That's how the hands are going to attach later. And then flipping here upwards, you'll see again that dynamic cloak that's flowing all throughout. Nice shades of blue in there to break up the white. And we had that little pendant or the rope section on the front as well. So really good looking outfit overall. We are missing 2 hands and the head. It actually comes with 2 different head sculpts. Oh, and also we have the sheath for the sword here. And if you look really closely in there, you'll notice there's a very small magnet that allows it to attach and position specifically onto her body when you do connect it. And so what happens is when you go to connect this, it kind of like pops it off. I'm not sure if this was intended or not, but it wouldn't fit naturally. So it kind of pops it out of the socket a little bit. And once I get it into position here, I'll lower it to get the magnet to connect to the body. There it does, snaps into position. And then I just push this white belt into it. Again, I'm not sure if that's the original intention of this. Once you get it in there and push it a little hard with some force, it does fit in there nicely and almost flush. Have to be super careful when connecting this to the base because it's a really tight fit. And then we'll go over quickly. Here's one of the hands that's going to go on. It's actually the left hand on the body and on the right side of the statue. So the other hand is going to actually be sculpted onto, not sculpted onto, it's going to be added onto an effect piece that goes around the side. And first off, let's take a look at her head sculpt. If there's one thing that Magic Cube Studios does an amazing job with, it's always these head sculpts. We can see her hair's perfectly flowing in there. And then we have that butterfly pendant that we have. You know, her hair is a staple going off to the side, and then we can see the bangs are flowing in the wind. Now we have the eyes are beautifully done, right? They always do such a great job with the way that those come together. So such a good likeness to her actual character. For the second head sculpt, this is a little spoilerish, so please just move past, skip a few seconds. But actually, you know, I thought it looked like a demon at first, but this has to do with her final form, where her eyes are being used at a certain level where it actually ruptures her blood vessels. So that's why they look red the way that they do. So not trying to spoil too much, but it's crazy how, you know, it's really going to bring her and tie her into the actual battle she's going through. So there's that head sculpt. Then we'll go back to the normal. For now, we'll keep that normal on there as that's how we normally know her at. If you're wondering why I did this third effect piece last, it's because everything has a flow to how you have to install it together. And so I did end up finding out through the installation process that this one has to go on last, especially to connect the hand and get it into place. So we have her sword that's going to be at the very top. It's sculpted in to this effect piece, and the hand is sculpted separately, but I do have it slid onto there. So really cool looking how they brought this to life. It's crazy, right? This is such a small, you know, blade, and it's bringing forth this huge giant effects all around here. One thing that's neat that I forgot to mention is they have those petals that are sculpted all throughout each of the effects. And also we saw that little singular one on the bottom front part of the base. So this is super tricky. You have to slide the right piece around back and the left piece around front. Really pay attention to my video for those that own this statue and how I install this. It's extremely, it feels like I'm playing a game of Operation here, like trying not to scratch the statue, but get this part of it here leaning upward. And then I have to lift this a little bit above the waist. And once it reaches a certain height, then I can get it connected to that first effect piece over there. And then once that's connected, then you have to also kind of pull things really gently back and get it slid into place so we get her hand. But once everything's together, it's really uncomfortable to do, but just do it slow and be methodical, and that's how everything comes together. So here is her in the dark with some awesome lights in the background. These aren't LEDs that were installed with it, just some lights I have in the back. But man, coming together, this is such a beautiful statue. I love all the icy textures, the flowers, again, tying in her battle with a specific demon. The effect pieces are super dynamic in the statue. You can feel the flow of the actual ability that she's using, her breathing form in this moment. And then we also have the beautiful likeness, right, to her actual character. So such a good job from Magic Cube. I enjoyed this line so much, sharing it with you. I hope you enjoyed your Soy Bam Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. Today will be super special because it will be the first time that we're going to be debuting a Demon Slayer statue on the channel. Later on, I will need your help in deciding what Demon Slayer statue to unbox next, so stick around to check it out. Magic Cube is the name of the studio that came out with this statue. You can see there's 520 of them made, and every bit of them sold out. I know this actually went up in price very shortly after it was released, but they're doing such a good job. And the reason why the price is increasing is because they've really committed themselves. I think they're up to 5 or 6 characters at this time. The base looks nice and simple. We have some rock, some moss textured on there, and then we have some cherry blossoms. All throughout you'll see these little crevices here where later effect pieces will be keyed into. But naturally it doesn't look too great because it's got all those crevices all throughout. On the back you have a button to turn on the LEDs, and then we have right there it'll be powered by a micro USB as well. As we begin to build this statue together, you're going to see this is what I would deem a triple threat kind of statue. What I mean by that is it's got great character representation, it's dynamic, it actually looks like a work of art, there's lots of nice effects, there's LEDs to go with it, there's just so much going on for this statue, and it's also just a nice balanced looking piece. These red translucent resin pieces are what I believe to be Nezuko's blood, or maybe her ability to manipulate that. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on those. These are the two largest effect pieces here, and they're kind of the backbone to support several other different pieces that we'll be installing later. I do love the fact that there is some texturing on there. There isn't just a smooth texture. There's also what looks to be like a rough point, but it gives it a little bit more character for being just a boring piece of a red resin. Earlier, I had said that those pink flowers remind me of a cherry blossom, but honestly, I have no idea, what it could be. This could be a Japanese maple tree, and so I'm just saying cherry blossom because anytime I see lots of pink flowers, I think that. On the bottom of this piece here, we'll see that's actually a plug that will allow the electronics to travel up to the very top here, and later on, we're going to be connecting something that lights up that's very gorgeous. So cool engineering, the way that they did that. All throughout the tree, we'll see these holes. We will later fit some other pieces on there. These will also house things because they look a bit unnatural for a tree. They don't look like branches at all. But gorgeous tree, great paint application on this one as well. And I just love how this is going to be kind of the centerpiece, the backbone of the statue. Now is your chance to vote below. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a Tanjiro statue next, which is going to be extremely epic and dynamic, or would you love to see Magic Cube's Shinobu? So your choice, let me know. I can't wait to do either one. The flowers that they sculpted look fantastic, and they further add to the fact that this feels like an artistic statue. Now those holes on the bottom will attach to those more unnatural looking pieces that are sticking out of the branches. Here is the largest batch of flowers. I figured since this is more detailed and intricate, I'll show this one off real quick. This one actually attaches with two parts, one on a smaller branch and then on that thick piece. Next up, we have the box that Tanjiro carries that Nezuko sits in during the date. Kurama! Come on, this is not even a Naruto video. Get out of here. So we have the box here, and it looks fantastic. Great texturing. The wood, it looks realistic, and just a nice touch. This is actually going to be the backbone that holds up Nezuko as we attach her later on. You can see that's why this notch is very thick, and that steel rod is very strong. Before we install that, I'm going to go ahead and put in the remaining effect pieces. I actually have to put on that small one before I put the box, or it won't go on. Spoiler alert for anybody who only watches the anime, the form of Nezuko coming up is not something that's been showcased yet, so you might want to skip over, and please don't blame me if something is spoiled. The form that she's going to be taking on here is, I guess, her full demon transformation. Some vine-like tattoos end up appearing all throughout her body, which they did well at sculpting that on there. Those vine tattoos are likely paint stickers, and if we flip this around to the back, the texturing paint application looks fantastic on this. You can see how the light just reflects off it. They did sculpt some underwear there on the bottom, and if you're wondering why this is only half of her body, they sculpted this in 3 different parts here, and that's how the torso will connect to the rest. For the rest of the upper torso, basically everything that is skin was sculpted separately. So we have each arm sculpted, and then we have the chest and head are all one piece. Now, to address the elephant in the room, her clothes are a bit revealing. Thankfully, there is a purpose behind it, which I can appreciate. The fact that when she shrinks and grows, it's the same clothes. So naturally, as she's going to be larger in this form, it doesn't cover up as much, so it's a bit revealing. One thing I want to point out also is the positioning of the hands and how they were sculpted. They look extremely rabid and as if she has lost control of herself. Here's a close-up of those paint stickers as well. Each hand does have a magnet at the very end that connects to the part of the clothing that we'll see in just a sec. It's really cool how she is in somewhat of a dynamic pose. It's not overly dynamic, but it's not static feeling as if she's just standing there. So I think that they had a perfect balance between a static and dynamic pose. Definitely the coolest piece so far. There's so much detail packed in to just this head sculpt. The hair looks gorgeous with that blending between the black and the orange. The actual hair is quite flexible. I'm not sure if it's made of resin or a type of PVC, but I appreciate the fact that it doesn't break easy. We can see that horn that's forming on the left side of her head, or I guess right if you want to be politically correct. And we have some of the veins that are popping out. You can see there the breasts have a little bit of the vine-like tattoo that's starting to form. What's cool about the way that they sculpted it with the skin being separate is it does sit in there pretty flush to where it looks naturally like one piece. Now y'all leave me alone in the comment sections. I have to push these a little bit to get them to sit flush. Now on to the last piece, what I like to call the cherry on the icing of the cake, because as if this statue wasn't cool enough, it included this large moon, which we have a piece up top of the blossom that is sculpted separately, and then the actual moon-like texture. It's kind of hollow feeling inside. There's some LEDs that are going to be inside of there, so I'm not sure how it looks inside, but it is gorgeous feeling and pretty lightweight. Up top, you'll see that little hole right there. We do have some 5 final pieces that we'll be attaching after we light this up. In order to power this statue, they included a small micro USB cord. Now this one's too short for most statues that I use. In my description section of every single video I have is an Amazon store of my go-to items if you want to pick stuff up. I actually use a 10-foot cord for these. They're actually pretty cheap, but check that out if you haven't seen those links. This is very unique. I've never seen this before, but Magic Cube made the actual remote that turns the LEDs on and off, the edition size as well, so you can see the number that's on there. It also comes with this acrylic stand that you can sit it on next to the statue. So it's great. Instead of an edition size plaque, it's a remote and a plaque at the same time, but very ingenious of them. The moon looks fantastic. It is super bright, and you can tell it's kind of a pure white coloration in there, but it really brings that statue to life, especially at nighttime if you have it sitting in your room. These are also included with the statue. These are 5 different lanterns. The inside of them are hollow, and that is because they actually included some, I would say, like gimmicky type of LED lights to light them up. They're not plugged in electronically. You'll see here, these are the LED fixtures, and also they included some small bags with the actual batteries in there. So you install the batteries inside of those units, and then you take those units and put them inside the lanterns, and we'll see how they look. After sitting down with these for a little while, I actually have no idea how to turn them on except for smacking them. It's just the only way that I figured out. Once I stick them in here, if I tap the lantern, it tends to turn on and off, but that's what they look like, and that's how I only figured out how to turn them on. Really cool looking, and of course my only complaint would be the fact that they're not plugged in electronically, that you do have to manually turn these on and off. Now, they're probably not something that I would use consistently with the statue. It's really great for a showcase and for taking some pictures, but after that I either keep them turned off or take the batteries out altogether. The statue looks absolutely stunning once you turn all the lights off. Again, I said this is an artistic type of statue, and I really mean it. It looks fantastic when you have everything assembled, all the LEDs on. Such a great job by Magic Cube. Be sure to vote below in the comment sections on if you're looking to see Tanjiro next or Shinobu. Both will be showcased in the future, but you have the power to decide on who's going to be coming first. If you enjoyed this unboxing, please do hit a like on there. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, I want to encourage you to do so. Click that notification bell so you are aware when my videos drop. I really was excited to showcase this today. I hope you enjoyed it. For now, I will see you in the next video. As always, everybody, do what you love and love what you do. Bam out. Suyoku na. Hey everybody, Bam Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. My voice may sound a little different today because my allergies are kicking me in the butt, but the unboxings must go on. Today we have a spicy, controversial statue because of its inaccuracies to the source material, and this is Cartoon World's Battle Damage line featuring none other than Conan, coming in at their number 2 in the series. For those that recall, she did die in the hands of Toby, or as we later on found out, Obito, in the village hidden in the rain. So we have those pipes that are being brought forth to kind of represent that village. And scattered all throughout the statue in a very dynamic way, we'll see the paper that some of it's being incinerated from some of the explosive tags I imagine that she let off against Toby in that moment. You know, I'm going to keep on referring to him as Toby because in that moment we had no idea it was Obito. Now over there on that side, we'll actually see that there's a break that happened during my shipment. Unfortunately, I think this statue was kind of plagued with these because there's a lot of very fragile pieces of the paper that were sculpted with the statue. We also have the 2 notches that are going to be used to mount her feet to the base. Great job overall by the studio in creating a base that has a small footprint but also heavy enough to support the character. One thing I do when gluing broken pieces is I take a fine grit sandpaper and rub it up against those parts where the clean break was, just to make a little bit of an area that's rougher so it adhesives and glue sticks a little bit better. And here's the glue that I use. Oh, dang it, this is the one I took the label off of, but here's what it looks like. You can check out the links in the description for my BAM Collectibles Amazon store. That's where you can see what the glue I use and what works for me best. But I sometimes apply this with a toothpick. For this, I'm not worried about it because anything that bleeds off of the sides is just going to blend in because it is a piece of white paper. After I get everything lined up, I'll go ahead and hold it as long as I can.
5 minutes later.
And there you have it. That's how I deal with more of these minor small breaks, right? This is a fragile collectible, and sometimes this stuff happens. Learn how to repair things yourself and take care of it. If it's obviously a serious break, contact your reseller, but because it's a piece of the diorama, I'm just going to fix the dang thing, right? Just a reminder, we are doing the giveaway for Apocalypse Studios KCM Naruto now through the end of June. Just comment on any video that releases between now and then, as well as following me on social media, Instagram or Facebook, and leave a meaningful comment on the video. At the end of the month, we'll do a live stream, select a random video and a random comment, maybe even 2 or 3 winners just in case one doesn't, reply to anything, and then we'll be doing the actual giveaway on the channel. All right, now buckle up. Things are going to get a little controversial here because the outfit that Conan is wearing is not scene accurate at all. In fact, this is way too sexy for someone's death scene if you see all the different rips and tears that are going on in her outfit. So for what they are, obviously the paint job is really nice and detailed for it. But again, it's just not something that was accurate to the show, or we didn't get to see these aspects of her. It's kind of an artistic interpretation. The fraying of the robe looks amazing, and obviously we have the decal graphic with the red cloud that looks awesome. There's a notch where an effect particle is going to go later. Some more of the paper. The hands were sculpted nice. We have that subtle touch of paint on the fingernails there that showcase the polish. And then the further we go up, the more inaccurate things get. So her belly button is showing with those 4 little piercings there. And here are the breasts. All I can say is the water was cold. They also were very generous with adding a lot of side boob on here. Again, this statue is kind of not something I really stand for as a collector that much. I'm not really into collecting things that I would consider a little bit pervy, but this is a statue line that I wanted to collect the complete lot of, the Battle Damage line, so that's why I did decide to go with it. On the back, we'll see several different notches from a bunch of effect pieces that we will install next. As we key in the notches to the grooves, just a reminder, here's how she looked like in the show. I don't really stand for the way that this statue represents her character. I don't really feel like this accurately does at all represent who she is, but just my 2 cents on the matter. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of effect pieces that were sculpted separately, and they're going to look like this, right? It's a lot of paper that is seared and singed with the flames. Now, that is a really cool effect to add on this statue. I think they executed that really nicely, and we'll see that even more so as we go up to the pieces that are on the back. A lot of these are attached to the back by magnets. So this piece right here, I actually think fell off, or maybe the glue came off because it doesn't have a magnet and it goes right into place. I may glue that later, so that's another thing where it didn't exactly break, but the glue, it loosened up, so it did fall out and was loose inside of the box there. But all the other pieces do go on with nice little tiny round magnets impacted into the square notches. And with that large last piece installed, there we have it. Almost looks like the wing is being burnt down. So crazy cool looking. Here's the other hand that was sculpted separately. Really dynamic the way that the paper is kind of going through a corkscrew around her hand. We can see the nice little decal on the ring. I think that ring actually stands for white, if I recall. I think it's just got the kanji for white. And again, that corkscrew effect, it's got the magnet inside of there. Now, just like that one back piece where it fell off, there's a piece that was on her hand here that did fall off during transit as well. I could glue it if I easily wanted to, but I want to show you. So here's the extra piece that kind of further extends that corkscrew that just goes out of her hand. And if I add that effect onto here, I kind of like it without it. I can't see her hand as much, and so I almost like that it did fall off, so I'm probably going to end up leaving it that way. Unlike Cartoon World's typical head sculpts, this one's a little bit less than perfect in my opinion, but even though it lacks perfection, I think they did do a great job with it. And one thing that I loved is if we zoom in closely, we can see that her skin is kind of folding off as the pieces of paper are beginning to unravel. So a really cool feature, a detail that I've never seen added into any statue of her yet. So while it doesn't look perfect overall, I think it is an amazing head sculpt that's innovative that they did. And for every statue, I gotta have some cool card to go with it. So here we have a custom card. So this is not one that was made in the actual Naruto CCG game. So I got this one off of eBay. If you're ever looking for some Naruto cards, you can check my links in the description. You can try to find some on there. But that's what it looks like. Pretty cool custom card. I love these, right? They do a really good job of making them look as authentic as possible. I think that is some artwork from Naruto Blazing that they took that's on the card right there. So there's my stand I'll set this aside. And next up, one of my favorite things about the Cartoon World Battle Damage line is they give you a secondary free statue. So this is the base for that. So we have another representation of the village hidden in the rain with all those metallic looking pipes. There's her actual ring. Again, I believe that kanji is for white. And here are some chains that they sculpted that magnetize to the side of this smaller base. Now, I don't think you have to include these on there if you don't want to, but then we have this smaller chibi version of Conan. It looks amazing. We have those paper wings on the back. I'm a sucker for these super deformed, I think it's SD scale or the chibi looking scale figures of these, but this is a complete freebie that they include, and they will include for each character they release. So I love it. I think they go well with the statue. If you saw my review on Toby or Obito, they had him as well, so they continue that for these, and they will continue for I have Pain next, and then Deidara after that. But see how she connects to the stand, and again, you can put those chains on there if you'd like. I know there's many out there that aren't a fan of this style of statue, but hey, if you don't like it, it's free. Give it to your younger brother, sister, somebody who can't afford a statue. Come on. And there we have it. Here is the final reveal for everything all together. It looks incredible overall. Again, there are some aspects that I don't like. I kind of wish it was more scene accurate, but they did do a great job in making a beautiful statue for what it is. And then I mentioned the Toby statue, the Obito statue before, but heck, why not? Let's bring them on stage and see how these look side by side. So there's his chibi version, and then here is the main statue itself. So they do look awesome. This line is extremely strong. I'm excited for it. It's actually one of my most excited lines I'm going to be collecting over the many months. Pain is shipping soon, and Deidara just went up for pre-order. If you have been sitting on this line of statues, I recommend you catch up soon, because these bad boys are going to get pretty expensive over time as the line continues. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. As always, everybody, I'll see you in the next. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.
Epic surprised us with an update! This was totally unexpected, but we got brand new prefabs and galleries today, and I'm going over everything. Okay, before we get into the actual update, there's actually some leaks I want to show you, and this has to do with Creative 2.0. So there's a few interesting things in this. We got some screenshots of 2.0 here. So now there's some interesting things as we look at this. Look at this. The memory is still capped at 100,000. It is what it is, guys. I'm sorry about that. It looks like down here, I'm gonna move my camera over. So look at this. Like down here, you see Machoke, Machoke 2, Machoke Skeleton. skeleton. I don't know if these are things we have access to or if someone built these things and now they have access to them. I don't know. There's some cool stuff here. And if you also look over at the left, you'll see like a whole bunch of other things. Pikachu, Pokeball. Like, I don't know what this is, but this is cool. Let's look at the next image. Check this out. This looks like, to me, like a terrain editor. And also you'll see down here different folders for materials, galleries. You got props, VFX, consumables. I mean, there's a lot down here. It's just organized a little better than the current creative system. Yeah, check this out, guys. This looks just like Unreal Editor. And you'll look down here. This is an image of Creative 2.0 a long time ago. Like, look at this background. I don't know. This doesn't look so different than the current Creative if this was made in Creative 2.0. I mean, there's some interesting pieces on there, but if regardless of all of that, we're getting super close to Creative 2.0. I don't know when, but I'm hoping by the end of the year or early next year. Exciting stuff. Okay, guys, so let's take a look at the prefabs we got. You know, I always like to throw these out first. So these are the Hunter's Haven galleries and prefabs, and we've waited for these for a long time. This is a chapter 2 location. We're finally getting it. I honestly am surprised they finally decided to give it to us. Ooh, look at this door here. I like that door. I don't think we have that anywhere else. Hold on, guys. I gotta turn off my shadows. Just makes it easier for me to see what's going on in these prefabs. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that is a cool little like artifact. Oh my gosh. I wish I could pull the artifact out of there. I love the bookcase here. Man, there's some cool stuff already. I'm looking at some of these walls. They feel similar to like the agency. They have their own little like spin to it. I like the little windows that you can look out of. Wait, can you shoot out of these? Like, if I have a gun, does it hit the wall here and I shoot? Wait a second. It looks like it doesn't. It looks like it shoot out. Wow, look at that. You can shoot out of these walls and it doesn't damage it. That's actually really cool. Good to know too. These windows you can shoot out of as well. Ooh, I like these staircases. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this? Guys, I actually don't remember a lot about this location. Got like a little pod here. Is this for like a mech or something? I actually don't know what this is. That is really cool though. I mean, yeah, this looks like a Hulkbuster or something. I have no memory of that. I love the stealth. Okay, that is really cool. Let's look at this other one. Ooh, look at these walls. These walls are really pretty. And I actually really like this stone as well. Wait, is that stone wet? If I bring it up higher, will it be less wet? No. It's just dark, shiny stone. Oh, wait. It's those same window ones I was shooting out before. Oh, man. I was kind of hoping you'd have some like up here that had those little windows. Okay, that's cool. Very good for like a bunker or something. Once again, we got these cool doors, man. I like those doors a lot. Got some new modern furniture and stuff. Okay, nothing too crazy in here. Let's see. Wait, what the heck is this? It's making some moonshine or something. Why is that in this like fancy like modern house? We got some like moonshine stuff. This should be in like the shanty gallery. I don't understand that. Okay, I'm just looking through these. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot different. Wait a second. I do love this light here. This little like wall light. See what it looks like if I blow it up. And I'm gonna put it down right there. Okay, that is actually really cool. A new type of light. I can dig it. Okay, well, yeah. So like I was saying, wait. What the heck is that? This is cool. I'm not really sure why they have this metal piece. I mean, it looks to me like it's supposed to be some sort of a support, but also kind of has a look of like a logo or something. Like, this is probably a really good one to do a circle trick with. Oh yeah, baby, check that out. That is actually really cool. And so a lot of these one, like I was saying before, they're just different shapes of the same gallery. There's definitely some cool pieces. Like, check this out. I love these little like separators or partitioners. And look, oh, a little bonsai tree. Wait a second. I feel like we maybe got the bonsai tree in some other gallery. I'm trying to remember. Oh, that's not even like a bonsai tree. That's just like a mini tree. Wait, what does this look like if I blow it up? Resizing. And there we go. I mean, it's just a tree. Yeah, I mean, that's cool, I guess. I like it as the small version. Like, it just looks really cool sitting next to this bed here. But like the samurai swords, look at this like setup here. This is like a good gaming setup. You got your computer and your swords just in case someone breaks into your house. Ain't nobody messing with me, man. Oh yeah, look at this like artwork. Okay, there's some really cool pieces in this. Like, even this up here, I know we've got this piece in another gallery. I'm trying to remember which one, probably the agency, but it looks really cool. I just always love looking through the prefabs because it shows me what Epic is doing with the different props. Oh wait, here we go. This is kind of what I was looking for before, is that little like mini window. Okay, I like these a lot. Let's throw out now the galleries, and there's actually not a lot of galleries. There's this one, and then there's this prop gallery right here, and that's the only thing associated with Hunter's Haven. So it's just 2 galleries. So that kind of tells you a little bit about these prefabs, and mostly that it's just a rearrangement of these pieces. Like, so we've got 5 prefabs here, but they're basically all the same. They just look slightly different. So let's see if there's anything interesting actually in the galleries that we can see. I mean, I do love these pieces that have the square like holes in them. It's great for things like if you put this piece over this one, you can have like a little trap door using a prop manipulator or something. You can delete this and then there's a hole in the floor, that kind of thing. I mean, there's some cool things you can do with stuff like that. I also really like these tiles here on the bottom. They actually feel really cool and different. There's different designs to it, make things look interesting. I feel like we've had these floors in another gallery, so nothing new there. These walls are cool. I love this dark stone. It's like shiny and interesting looking. This feels a little bit more like, I don't know, the agency or something. And wait. This wall is very shiny. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta blow this up. I didn't see this in the prefabs. So if I blow this up and then there we go. It's almost like a mirror. You're looking, you can kind of see Peely in the reflection. Ooh, that is nice. Is it on the other, both sides? It is on both sides. Wow. Okay, that is cool and very different. Let's see, anything else that is new? Okay, this is kind of nice. I like this piece here. This feels, I don't know, it almost feels like an IO piece. Hunter's Haven kind of feels IO-ish. And then there's staircases. I actually really like these staircases, especially this one right here. I feel like I'm always looking for different types of staircases to run up, and this will be a good one. All right, let's go look at the actual prop gallery. I feel like we've seen a lot of the props in the prefabs, but let's just see if there's anything that sticks out here. What is this little tiny chair? I wish we could sit in some of these chairs. We need that chair device, guys. Where's the chair device? I mean, this chair is so tiny. It's not even like, I don't know what this is for, like a little kid or something. I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. Here we go. Ooh, now it's an evil chair with a huge cushion. All right, we got the old alcohol. Wait, that's not alcohol. It's got a leaf on it. It's maple syrup. Wait. So this isn't a moonshine station. This is a syrup station. Oh, it's for man cakes. Is that what this is? Is that was man cake's house? Okay, that makes way more sense. I forget this was for like different hunters' houses. So I bet these swords were for some hunter. I don't remember who. Whoa. What is this? What the heck is that? It's like a little engine. Oh gosh, guys, you're gonna have to remind me who all these different pieces are for. Like, what is that? I don't remember, guys. I'm so, I don't know. My brain just doesn't work anymore. Ooh, this is cool. That's like a cool little chest. You could put like some devices on that and make it like an actual thing you can collect things out of. I like that. It almost looks like kind of like those new chests that are out in Battle Royale. I love this rug. It's a little different. Ooh, a little like tool chest here. That's awesome. There's actually quite a few stuff in here that I missed in the prefabs. See, anything else? Once again, we got these like cool art pieces. Is this a TV? A wall TV? Oh, I like that. And this is cool. Little like diagnostic thing. Yeah, guys, there's quite a bit in here that might be useful. Once again, these partitioners are really nice. Really cool, different bookcases. I love this wanted sign here with the taco guy on it. Yeah, some cool stuff. Oh, here's a pod right here. Oh, whoa. Wait. This is definitely connected to this. So if I put this like upside down, then I could put this on top of it. And it almost looks like they're connected somehow. I don't really remember who this is for. Who is this for, guys? Tell me in the comments. What do you guys think of this little mini update? I actually kind of like these little mini updates. So I'm glad we got something today. What do you think?
Oh, Paradise Island. You were my dream once. I looked up at you and I thought, man, that's a nice little place up there. I think I'll build a house. But alas, it was not to be. Because now I've got Giant Man. So today we are playing Satisfactory. I've got a big list of things that I want to do. We're going to take a look at what I've done since last time. And then I got to tier 5 offline. I need to go find oil. So that's the adventure. We're going to do some exploring. We're going to do some building. And probably not any cleaning up. Because we don't have to, who has time for that? We have time for progress. But I'll be wanting to build plastic and rubber to get some of that good old milestones. I kind of want to unlock a bunch of things. But we'll see. I mean, solving the power situation, it depends on how fast I run out of power, because you'll see what I've done. That's one of the things I want to review. So as you can see, I have made a little bit of progress on the Giant Man. I don't like the hand that I've made, but that's kind of what that's going to be going on. I've got the hand on the left side, and then on the right side is the space elevator. And the hand is going to be transportation and power distribution, and it's going to go through his arm and into the factory. And then I still need to build his head, so I'm going to leave the Giant Man alone for the most part. But this is the current state of the factory. it has only gotten worse, unfortunately. I've built a couple storage towers. I've basically built up the storage where I put them down. It's a lot. Let's just say that it's a lot. And this happened because I wanted to AFK. So, hey doggos. So we have iron production right here, and those are overclocked. So we've got a lot of iron heading up to a bunch of. Wait, why are those screws? I don't know. So a bunch of screw production because I was running out of screws and I wasn't stockpiling screws, so I wanted to make screw stockpiles. I also automated a lot of the steel recipes. Basically every recipe I could, I automated, and I wanted to put them into storage stacks. And yeah, I've used foundations in the worst way possible to make more spaghetti. Chat asked me to use foundations, and by golly, I did. So let's just kind of venture in here. I started using ladders. That's kind of nice. But you can see there are things where I just didn't care. I just wanted to get it working. I've got belts running through rocks. I've got belts running around. I've got floating storage. I've used lifts a bunch. I've got belts going through storage. I've got belts and loop-de-loops just to get them connected because, you know, I don't have a... Actually, this is my defense, guys, and please let me defend myself. I don't have a ton of time. I've actually had the least amount of time for leisure activities than I've ever had in my life. And that's partially because of work. That's partially because of the YouTube and Twitch thing just blowing up. And I've been really focusing on it, and I've been trying to like put out as much content as I can without burning myself out. Basically, at this point, like I don't have a ton of time to just blow on a lot of builds, like clean builds. Let's just say that, like aesthetic builds. So I do plan on cleaning it up still. I just apologize that it is not this. You know, it's not soon. I think you let Let's Game It Out influence your build a little bit too much. I mean, yeah, I did kind of, didn't I? So this is actually what I was saying in the YouTube comments, is that seeing the insanity of Let's Game It Out automatically brought my standards lower because I'm like, at least it's not as bad as Let's Game It Out. This is at least semi-functional. It is 100% functional, thankfully. I have zero, well, actually, I think the iron might be, a bad efficiency right now, but that's just because I added screws to it without calculating anything. You were standing in the same place as I recently and took a screenshot from, and it's completely... Wait. Did I actually shut down? No, okay. You played the sound alert! I knew it! Okay. Okay. I was like, no, I have 2,500 megawatts. I shouldn't be hearing this. So this is the place. I've got lots of stuff. I've got tons of rotors. I've got tons of, well, I don't quite have one crate of motors yet, but I'm preparing for that. I've got a bunch of motors. I have made a second coal farm, or coal generator farm. I've got another 8 coal generators here. This is maybe my first use of like somewhat organized foundations. It's just I wish I had gone a little bit higher. I've got a nearly one-to-one usage, input to output. It just very slowly will produce 1 coal in storage every couple seconds. And even that goes down. So it fluctuates up and down, but if you look, you can see it is a net positive. Because the compacted coal merges in and then comes into the storage to collect any excess, and then and go straight into the coal. I wanted this buffer so I could keep running it if I ran out of coal somehow, like if I start up a new coal usage, like use coal for something else. So this is going well. This coal, I mean, at least based on the last episode, this coal farm was absolutely terrible. The coal comes in from the source, which is right around here. And as you come around, it made it so these back generators were starved of coal. And it was a really bad bad setup. So I realized that the thing that I needed was regularity. First, I needed to have compacted coal, because that would slow down the burn and make it last a little bit longer. You know, compacted coal, that's what it's for. And then I needed to standardize the distances from the source and the input. So I went in and I deleted everything except the coal generators, and I just made this giant loop of coal. And so all coal generation, compacted coal generation, merges into this same loop. And then from here, from that loop to the input, I made the exact same distance. And that made it so that the coal that stacked up, it made it so that there was a standardized distance, and it was fine. It worked, and it allowed me to distribute the coal evenly, and it was great. Now, I'm dumb because I could have just put lifts in and ran it straight through every single input. Yeah, I could have done that. So, whoops. But yeah, I enjoyed that. That was very fun to just like figure out the problem and then make a little change. I mean, it's not the most efficient setup, but it is a much better, cleaner setup that felt good. I had to go out and get one extra sulfur miner though, because I maxed out the sulfur that I had. It was a pure node, or it was a normal node. So Mark II miner would be 240 sulfur, and that I just used that up. So here we have the I'm going to christen it Tentacle Town, because that's what it is. And maybe I'll clean up Tentacle Town, maybe I won't, I probably will. But instead of calling it Noodle Town, because Noodle Town is kind of the meme, I shall call it Tentacle Town. Maybe I'll do something with that, make a Kraken out of it. I saw people in the Discord talking about it. I was actually thinking about putting a Kraken head, or if I'm gonna make like kind of a Kraken out of the base. You know, spaghetti floppily tentacles. But I don't know. Would I ever consider using the Satisfactory Calculator to find resources? I do not consider that cheating. Now, I don't want to see parts of the map and what they look like. So that's the hard part. The exploration, I love exploration games. So finding out what's on top of that plateau up there is a treat to me. So I don't want to kind of get an idea of what's up there by looking at a map. I think I actually need a second personal storage. I'm just gonna make that really quick. Let's put the complex stuff in here. And I did get a jetpack. So I was out looking for hard drives because I wanted to just mine them a little bit, farm them a little bit, and I didn't take a video of it, otherwise I'd show it. But I found a speed pig with a jetpack on, and I was confused. I was so confused I forgot to record it. So when I killed him, I got the jetpack. So I have a jetpack now. I don't have fuel for it, sadly. Oh, it's got fuel in it already. What kind of fuel? How am I doing this? Oh, it must have had some fuel in it. Okay, so I have no fuel now. Now it's telling me I don't have fuel. Oh, thanks you.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you this easy slime farm tutorial that produces 3000 slime balls per hour. This farm is a Java Edition slime farm, so building this in Bedrock will not work. Before we start constructing this farm, I highly suggest building this farm in the middle of an ocean, as there will be less caves to spawn proof, but if you choose not to, that's also okay. Just expect some lower rates if you don't light up your caves. Now I'm going to show you how to find a slime chunk. There are multiple techniques you can use to
seems to be leading me to the rocks? No. To Mumbo's no. Where is it leading me? Down here? Hello? Oh. Whoa. Hello? What is this? Shaded from the sun. Do you think they like sunshine in there? Hello? I like sunshine. Huh? What do you think it is? This doesn't make any sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Hoimycraft. Well, we have some problems. Yeah, we have some problems. There's we're in the castle, Ren's castle, and things are kind of getting a little crazy and out of hand, apparently. You know, while I, as the king's wise advisor and right hand, I was sick for a little bit, and now the king's throne is blown up. We have Gem's Prismarine shop inside here. There are also all these signs that we've seen before. Thou shalt eat only gigapies and all this stuff, and it's caused a little bit of an uprising and a rebellion. Quite a few hermits not thrilled with some of the new laws, or the king in general. Either way, the king has requested that the knights of the square table meet with him on the roof of the Nether. So I'm gonna head there and see what this is all about. Ouch!
Hey, V-Dubs.
Cleo, you got
yeah.
the message?
Oh,
I mean,
hello.
I think we all got the message.
Howdy.
This is your fault, you know, V-Dubs.
No, surely not.
It's your fault. Let's just accept it. I mean,
He's
who else
still
is
doing a
around?
great job.
Yeah,
Is
do
he
you know what?
though?
No.
Hello!
Oh, he made it!
Hey, there he is.
Hi.
Hi, Drama Troupe. How are we all doing?
Drama
Ready for another
Troupe.
production with Ren?
Who are you
With
calling
the,
drama
with the
troop?
drama kids. We're the drama kids at this point.
Oh,
That's what we are.
boy. Okay, let's see if you can make it
Why
in one
isn't there a
rocket.
ladder? No.
I didn't make it. I'm stuck sideways. Any idea what he's gonna say? Is he in a good mood? I've been sick. I missed the last thing. Is he fine?
He's been in a foul mood this whole
Oh, I
time.
have a gift for him.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Yeah. We're just here like absorbing the brunt of his worst moods at this
How
point.
far does this go? We gotta fly through this, man. This is crazy. Oh, now it turns? Oh, this is...
Now it turns.
All right, here we go.
There we go.
Shot for the Enderman.
Hey, Ren, they've been talking bad mouthing you. Ren,
have thus befouled
Ren?
the every inch
Oh,
of the king
he can't
in
hear
every
me.
possible
Oh.
way.
Oh.
No longer.
Should somebody
Shall
tell
they
him to
ever?
join the group? Yeah.
he can't hear us.
Have another chance.
I'll do it.
The horde of